Hi, welcome to my channel. It has been quite some time since I've posted a video, but I thought I would try this again. And what I'd like to do today is talk a little bit about anxiety. Now, I know that there is a ton of information out there on anxiety, but what I thought I'd do today in this video is talk a little bit about how I work with my clients to help them better assess when their anxiety is proportionate or disproportionate to the situation, the event that is happening. So, hi, my name is Erika Bischoff. I am a licensed clinical social worker. I am licensed in California and New York, and I have been working with clients for over 15 years, specializing in cognitive behavior therapy, CBT. So one of the things in CBT that we use a lot are handouts. And so what I thought I'd do for this video is use one of the handouts I've developed called the Comfort Zone. And I use this handout to help my clients kind of assess when their anxiety is proportionate, meaning it's life. Life is often complicated. It's difficult. We're humans. And so we need our anxiety to help us assess risk and keep us safe. However, we can also have what's called disproportionate anxiety, meaning we can feel overwhelmed, paralysis, and if this anxiety is intense and it's continuous and chronic, it can actually develop into an anxiety disorder. So the handout that you can see here on the video is called the Comfort Zones, and what I'd like to do is kind of talk about each of those zones and then talk about how I help my clients assess what is the actual appropriate zone that they are in given the situation and their anxiety, and then briefly how therapy can help them navigate those zones. So first, what we can see is that there are 3 circles, and each one is representing one of those zones. And the first zone is what I call the comfort zone. And the comfort zone, that is what we know. It's kind of our day-to-day, it's our routine. We feel relatively calm, that we can navigate it. It's kind of low risk, it's safe. Now, the comfort zone does not always mean it's healthy, meaning if we have a day-to-day life that is chaotic, we know it, we know how to navigate it, but it doesn't always mean it's healthy. In addition, we don't always want to be in that comfort zone because that's where we can get stuck or get into a rut. So that leads me to the second zone, which I call the discomfort zone. And this is kind of part of life, and it's where that general kind of anxiety can lie. And this is where we're learning a new skill. There's change. There's a break in our routine or a disruption in our routine. We don't feel as in control. One of the things that really can activate anxiety in the discomfort zone is the unknown, meaning the future. We're waiting on information. And so, like I said, this is kind of where a lot of life can happen, is in this discomfort zone. Now, the third circle here is called the crisis zone, and it kind of is what it is. It says a crisis, meaning it's an emergency, it is panic, it is unsafe, we don't have control. And what this crisis zone is, this really should be the exception. These crises should not be happening a lot in our life. Now, of course, there are situations and areas where there is ongoing crisis. However, for the sake of this video, these are the exceptions, i.e. major life events like a divorce, losing a job, a major health diagnosis, or an accident. These things should not be happening continuously or a lot in life. So those are kind of the 3 different zones: the comfort, the discomfort, and the crisis. Now, how do we kind of assess what zone we should be in? So one of the things in working with my clients who have anxiety disorders, what I have noticed or what I see is that discomfort zone gets very, very thin and small. And life becomes comfort, crisis, comfort, crisis, comfort, crisis. And so that can be the anxiety disorder or even the more extreme panic disorders. Okay, so what I do with my clients is help them broaden out and kind of navigate that discomfort zone, because that discomfort zone is life. So in life, we should be navigating between comfort, discomfort, comfort, discomfort. That's how we learn, that's how we grow, that's how we move forward. Okay, so How does someone assess what zone is appropriate? So I'll kind of give an example that's pretty classic. So you're going into work, you sit down, you open up your email in the morning, and you get an email from your boss saying, hey, I'd like to meet with you to go over some things this afternoon, but there's no other information. And so you're like, oh my God, what does my boss want to talk to me about? Now, you could be in the morning having several hours to this meeting. And if you start ruminating and you start catastrophizing and thinking of all the worst case things, by the time this meeting comes, you may be now feeling like, oh, I'm going to get fired. I'm not going to be able to pay my bills, and I'm going to be homeless within a month or two. Now that sounds extreme, but that's what can happen when we have anxiety disorders or anxiety is disproportionate. We artificially put ourselves into a crisis situation in our mind, although the event or the situation in reality is not a crisis. And so what I would recommend for like this person, if they were my client, is say, hey, take out that handout, look at your zones, start to assess what zone is actually the situation. Now, clearly they are not in the comfort zone, right? Because they don't know what their boss is going to say. They don't know if it's good or bad. So they clearly have unknown information that they're waiting on. So they are not in the comfort zone. They should not supposed to be in the comfort zone. They are in the discomfort zone. Now, they can ask themselves, is this actually a crisis? It feels like a crisis, but is it actually a crisis? Now, the question would be, am I fired right now? No. Am I still able to pay my bills? Yes. Am I homeless? No. Okay, so the crisis is not happening. Okay, so that tells them that they are clearly in that discomfort zone. So that kind of leads to the third part. And the third part is in therapy, what I help them do is learn how to, one, properly assess what zone they're in. If it's a crisis, then I'm doing crisis intervention and helping them manage that. But for this video, it's really around the discomfort zone and to help clients build their confidence that they can navigate that discomfort zone and persevere until they can get themselves into the comfort zone, i.e. they get that information they're looking for, or they've learned that skill or the change has happened and now they can go into the comfort zone. So that just kind of briefly helps give a little bit of an overview of kind of the different zones that you can be in around your anxiety, how to kind of quickly assess what zone is appropriate, and then through therapy or your own kind of interventions, kind of help yourself navigate each one of those zones. So if you like this video, I hope it was helpful. And if you like it, please hit the like button and subscribe. I'm hopefully going to put out a lot more videos and love to have any kind of information or comments down below of topics that people would like to have. And subscribe, hit the notifications for any new future videos, and see you in the next one.